say, words couldn't hurt me. Videos, just my name, they getting thirsty. Go ahead and put him in a hearse seat. It's getting murky, this time I deserve this. I'm ready for whatever war said he been a matador. Scared for the things I'm dreaming for. I'm eating caviar.
Time to set the internet on fire. Make sure you subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified. Real quick before I get started, any one of you rappers that need to get at me, holla at me on IG or holla at one of the homies. It ain't that hard to get in contact with me. A couple of rappers have reached out and everything like that. One thing I promise you, one thing that's for surely, I still got street code and street morals intact. So you will never hear me say something to the point of I'm going to record a conversation, not going to happen. I'm going to tell people about the conversation, not going to happen. So any of you rappers, because a couple of y'all have reached out in the past weeks and everything like that, I never released no conversation that we had. People can't tell no conversations that we had. I wouldn't even do all that. Now, if you acknowledge it, I'm going to say yes or say no. If it's the truth, I'm going to say yeah. If it's no, then it's no. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, let's set the internet on fire real quick. Young Thug's brother, Unfoonk, wants wiretap conversations thrown out of the court in RICO case, right? So Young Thug's brother, Unfoonk, is desperately trying to regain his freedom after getting caught up in the massive RICO case against Young Slime Life gang in Atlanta, or Young Stoner Life. That's how we gonna look at it, because I'm not here to convict nobody in the court of public opinion. That's number one. Unfoonk is one of 27 people indicted for conspiracy to violate the Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act. Otherwise, still rappers charged included Thugger, Gunna, Lil Duke, Yak Gotti, and Slime Life Shouted. And I'm going to say this. Yak Gotti's snitch story, they trying to fix that one up. So, basically, we'll get into that in the live stream, where basically I was letting know some information that how it's being portrayed, Yak Gotti ain't a snitch. But I'll let the people decide. It's not on me. I just put the facts out there, and y'all can decide. Unfoonk wants Judge Earl Glanville to suppress the government's key evidence against him. At issue is a conversation an unidentified individual had with the rapper while the phone was being tapped. Investigators honed in on two conversations on April 3rd and April 14th, which Unfoonk maintains had nothing to do with him. Without conceding the fact and based purely on the state's allegations thus far, as a party to an intercepted wire, oral, or electronic communication, Unfoonk had an expectation of privacy in the intercepted communications and has standing to challenge the legality of the intercepted communications. Unfoonk lawyer Michael E. Russ Jr. explained, Unfoonk asked Judge Glanville for a hearing and wants all the evidence related to or arising from the intercepted communications thrown out of court. Judge Glanville granted Unfoonk a hearing in the matter, which is slated for November. In addition to the RICO charge, Unfoonk is also charged with theft by receiving stolen property. Unfoonk, born Quintarius Greer, is best known for his song Mob Ties remix featuring Young Thug, Future, and YTB Trench. Unfoonk initially hit with life for a sentence after he was convicted of felony murder in his role in the shooting death of a man named James Yarbrough in 2007. Stay to the end. We'll go see what they was talking about with that. So, I would do it Jake style, where I would revisit the case, but I don't want to steal the homie stuff. So, in respect to him and respect to my platform, that's how he do his. I watch how he do his stuff. I'm going to do mine at the end. So stay after the credits to see what they was talking about, and we'll get to it. The rapper was released after his conviction was overturned by a judge who ruled that a man who testified against Unfoonk during his trial was actually an accomplice to the murder. And that's very important. And I'm going to explain why in the live stream tonight, why that's important. We ain't going to get too much into it. Let's put it this way. Based off of how his previous conviction went, basically is this. The person who actually did the crime said Unfoonk did the crime. Unfoonk was able to actually get some money, get a lawyer, and everything like that, and fight the charge. See, this is one thing, and this is what I had put out for you guys as far as Lil Beatty, Lil Woody, pardon me. They're going to ask him in the court to make sure that they can sway the jury that, hey, bro, you already got something labeled out for you. You already got a deal to testify. So how do we know that this ain't real? Even under the threat of perjury, it's only 5 years at max. Hood Lawyer. Make sure you subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified. One of the things that people have to understand about how all of this crap play out, right now, it's a fight for public opinion. Will it get suppressed? It depends on. What does it depend on? One, it's going to depend on when the wiretap was taken, if they're truly under investigation. Now, if I was a betting man, I would think that people still watching me, right? I'm talking about the lawyers. So, if possible, y'all need to hire Paul Howard, one to bust this case. When was YSL actually being followed, opposed to them just going back in retrospect and saying, oh, this is when they was doing all this stuff. See, one thing that I'm seeing that the DA is doing, they're playing dirty. They ain't playing fair. And all right, righteously, I get all the other lawyers and all this crap. You want to keep it all cool, and we want to have a working, cordial relationship where if you go ahead and you cut some slack off of this person, I can help you get some slack cut off on this person. This is business, end of the day, right? No. This is somebody's life. Is Unfoonk really guilty of anything? Not really. Receiving stolen property, y'all got to prove wherewithal and knowledge. See, it's receiving stolen property, and then that puts you under RICO for being with YSL. By the way, it's not a crime to be from a gang in America. I want y'all all to know that. So all the Crips and Bloods and GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, whatever you want to be, it's not a crime. I think a lot of y'all misconstrue that. Because if it's a crime, then how in the world is the Hells Angels allowed to operate like a LLC? Y'all need to study them cats. They fresh up out of Oakland. But, I mean, Oakland a little smarter than everybody with this stuff. Black Panthers, Hells Angels. White people, black people. They figured it all out. And yes, the Hells Angels do play Tupac. I witnessed this my goddamn self. I digress. Let's get into it. Hire Paul Howard, special assistant, to break this case up, to destroy it. Because one thing I know Paul Howard got right now is a grudge. And ain't nothing like an angry man to give retaliation for what he used to do. But y'all let me know in the comments. Stay to the end so you can see what Unfoonk was actually charged with. And we'll go ahead and we'll see y'all at the live stream. If something pop up urgent tonight or today, then I'll drop a video. But for right now, this is the only video. We're going to talk about Gotti snitching. We're going to talk about this case a little bit more. There's a lot more stuff that I'm about to do. And I guess we'll talk about Meg Thee Stallion's house getting broken. I don't really think y'all care. So we'll talk about the live stream tonight. I will catch y'all 7 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 10 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast, 9 in the Central, that's Dallas and all that. And we're going to slide over there to goddamn 8 o'clock Mountain Time. But I will catch y'all there. Make sure you got your bells on. Hey, look, we 15 subscribers away from 111K on our way to 200K. So do me a favor, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch y'all there. We gone. Y'all expect me to keep it real? Because you know that I will. I do this daily, baby. Check out the Nightly Nash podcast. Also, Street the Music, Steady Nash, if you have not. It's on all streaming platforms. Guaranteed you're going to find something you like. Probably like that overly thugging freestyle, or maybe something different. Let me know in the comments. We possibly shoot that music video.
A few moments later.
Nosy asses. Let's get to it. Atlanta man convicted of murder and $1,500 armed robbery. Darius Jordan was convicted of murder more than 2.5 years after James Yarborough was shot in the stomach because the 26-year-old and another man wanted $1,500 in Yarborough's pocket. Jordan was sentenced Thursday to life plus 25 years in prison for murder, armed robbery, and aggravated assault in the December 22nd, 2007 death of Yarborough, and also for robbing Yarborough's 22-year-old nephew, Kenneth Kaiser, at gunpoint. According to testimony in Fulton Superior Court, Jordan offered to drive Yarborough, 35 years old, and Kaiser to a Jonesboro Road check cashing store and then to buy crack and marijuana. All right. They made several stops, but the last one was on King Smith Road, where Jordan's accused partner, Quintarius Greer, aka Unfoonk, was waiting. Greer, who has not been tried yet, told Yarbrough and Kaiser to get out the car and to give it up, according to testimony in Jordan's trial. Why is that important? Because this is Jordan saying this, the person who actually got sentenced to life plus 25. While Greer allegedly held the men at gunpoint, Jordan went through their pockets, taking their money and drugs. Yarbrough then rushed Greer and was shot, and they hit him in the stomach. It's a typo, so it is what it is. Police linked Jordan to the crime because the surveillance camera at the check cashier's store captured images of the men together. Jordan was easy to spot. He was wearing a red Santa hat and a bright colored jacket. Greer's about to be tried later this year. And because of that testimony, right, basically, what's cuz name? Darius Jordan was the one who said all of this stuff. And I guarantee you, the way that I broke it down earlier in the video, that's what happened. They wanted 2 for the price of 1. But they forgot Unfoonk actually got some money. And this is what's a lot that's key to this whole YSL thing. It ain't just that these cats is committing crimes. Bro, Atlanta filled with crimes. If they really wanted to stop crimes, bro, they would put detectives on every single surveillance camera and get a lot of crime taken out. They forget. All the crime that happens in Atlanta actually keeps people employed. From the jails, to the detectives, to the judges, to the lawyers, to the goddamn employees of the state. AKA lawmakers and city officials. So when these people say all this stuff like they actually trying to help, no, they're not. They're all trying to make names for themselves. I don't believe for 2 seconds that these people want too much change to happen, because too much change, you can create paradise. But long story short, it's easy to get that person on the stand once he decided to tell his story. See, the great thing about our court system is, if I say I volunteer to raise my hand to go take the stand, that means not only can my lawyer question me, but the opposing counsel can too. And that opposing counsel, I guarantee you, though I've not read the goddamn court documents, tore his ass up. So shout out to the money, because money is what controls your freedom for the most part. For the most part. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this one. If you made it to the end, leave a laughing face emoji, and then let me know what's going on with y'all.